to be doing today is we are going to continue 2.5, which is the distributive property, which we briefly started yesterday. I'm going to go over a bunch of practice problems. We really won't be using the guided notes. A lot of problems we will do in our notebook. Paper and pencil. So please have that out. Our homework tonight is Math Excel 2.5, the distributive property. Our goal today, or our learning objectives, is to understand what the distributive property is and then be able to solve problems using the distributive property. If you have any questions throughout the lesson, please make sure you are asking. Good? What did you think about the distributive property yesterday? Feel good about it? Or it's like, what is this? Anyone? Not hard? Okay, I'm going to go over a problem first, then I will let you try to on your own. Okay, so follow along with me. Write this in your guided note, or not your guided note, on your notebook. So if I give you 5 parentheses 7 minus 3, this is the distributive property of subtraction. Remember, distributive property, there's someone who distributes things. So you can think of Santa distributing a present to everyone who is nice. Everyone who is nice is inside your parentheses. We only have 2 people who are nice. Hopefully we can make that bigger by the end of class. Okay? Or you can think of a card game. The person on the outside is your dealer. And then you give a card to everyone who is playing. Everyone who is playing is inside of your parentheses. Has anyone ever played Pass the Trash? One of my favorite games. You give 1 card to every person. So this is the dealer. You're giving a card to every. Okay, how would we solve this? What are we going to do? Who can help? Alex.
Multiply 5 and 7.
Good. We're going to multiply the 5 by the 7. So that's 5 times 7. Good, and then multiply the 5 by 3. 5 times 3. What operation goes in between these 2 multiplication problems? Jordan? Subtraction. Because we have a subtraction sign right here. If that was an addition sign, we would have an addition sign here. So then solving that, 5 times 7 is 35, minus 5 times 3, which is 15. We should get an answer of 20. Remember, here's Santa Claus's hat. The magical hat. Isn't that Santa Claus with Tim Allen? Isn't the hat what makes you magical? That says now he became Santa Claus. Is that right? I think Santa fell off the roof, and then he and the hat, he put it on, and that made him Santa Claus. I believe. Sounds like I need to watch more Christmas movies to figure these things out. All right. So that is your distributive property. Are you ready to try 2 on your own now?
Yes.
You got it. Okay. Let's go with 4, open parentheses, 7, plus 3. And go ahead and solve these 2 distributive properties. Or parentheses 7 plus 3. Using the distributive property, meaning we're not going to use the order of operations. What are we going to do? Katie? 4 times 7. Right? Good. 4 times 3. Then what? Good, we need an addition sign. Because inside our parentheses, we have an addition sign. So, on your homework, Math Excel, and on your test, it will talk about which 2 expressions are equivalent. Equivalent means they are the same. Okay? these two are equivalent to one another. Is everyone good with that? Those two are equivalent. That's going to be some of your questions on your homework tonight. These are equivalent using a distributive property. You should get 28 plus 12. Should get an answer of 40. Good? All right. Then the next one. 7 parentheses 10 minus 4. Annabelle. 7 times 10 minus 7 times 4. 70 minus 28. You get 42. Okay, I highly suggest that you use these lines. Okay, hopefully by the end of class today, we'll have more nice people, right? And we'll have more numbers inside. And I want to make sure you are distributing it to everyone. You're being fair. You're being equal. Okay, it's just a quick way to make sure you give it to everything on the inside. Right, that is the quick way of describing the distributive property. If you're given a problem like this, I don't suggest that you use distributive property. Why I taught it to you this way. First, it's just numbers makes it easier. Okay, now, and the reason why you would do the distributive property is because we have variables. Okay, so go ahead and write this problem in your notebook. That's 6 parentheses x plus 4. Can we use the order of operations to solve this problem? No, we cannot, because we can't do x plus 4 because we do not know what x is. So that's why we use the distributive property. Okay. So, how do you think we'd solve this using the distributive property? Liam?
6 times x.
Good, so we distribute the 6 to the x, so that would be 6 parentheses x. Then what?
Plus 6 times 4.
Good. Distribute the 6 to the 4, so 6 times 4. Is this in simplest form? That's what we're trying to do with distributed property. We're trying to simplify our expression. Is this as simple as it gets? Samantha, you're shaking your head. No. What can I do?
You can take the parentheses,
Perfect. Be lazy. Don't write parentheses. Just write 6x. That's how you will see it written almost 99% of the time. Okay, that's 6 times x. The same thing. It's just quicker. Okay? Plus, can we do anything to this? Jordan.
You can multiply it.
We can multiply it because they are two numbers. We know what the answer is going to be. It's going to be 20. So this is equivalent to this, which is equivalent to this. All three of these are equivalent to one another using the distributive property. You good with that? You can handle that on homework? All right. Let's try a couple on your own then. We're going to try 5, 10 minus x. Then we're going to see, parentheses, 5 plus 12. Go ahead and solve these two using the distributive property. So simplify them. 5 parentheses 10 minus x close parentheses. What did you get? What is your answer? No. Check.
I got, so, I did 5 open parentheses, so I did 5 open parentheses, 10 close parentheses, 5 open parentheses, x close parentheses, and then I simplified this down to 50 and 5x.
Is there anything that goes in between 50 and 5x? This would be the most common way that you will see this written. If you wrote 50 minus 5 parentheses x, this is not wrong. it's just that. You will always see it written as a 5 and an x because this is the variable. What would 5 be called? What's that vocabulary word? The number in front of the variable. Michael. The coefficient. Nice job. Okay, so you always see it written as a coefficient variable. All right, this one. Sydney, what'd you get?
5c plus 12c.
5c plus 12c. I agree. And you can multiply this. Multiply that. You might have written it like this. Again, you will see it written as coefficient variable almost all the time. Hey, do you think you can handle this? We good? Because I'm about to move on to something different that is a little more challenging. Ready? You all seem like you're so excited and ready for this. There we go. Alright. What we are going to do now is we're going to work backwards with the distributed property. I'm going to give you 2 numbers, then you're going to write the number on the outside and the 2 numbers on the inside. You're going to make Santa and his nice people. So if I were to give you 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4. We are going to use the greatest common factor to write the distributive property. Okay. So what is the greatest common factor between 12 and 4? And I don't mind when we're doing this. If you want to do it off to the side, use a ladder method. List them out. It's fine. Or you can do it in your head. Audrey, what do you get? 4. It is 4. So 4 is going to be the number on the outside. You should be writing this in your notebook. We can divide a 4 out of a 12 and 4. It is the greatest common factor. That's the number on the outside. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take 12 and divide it by 4. What do you get? Sam? You get 3. So 3 is the first number on the inside. Plus, what's 4 divided by 4? 1. Hey, 1. Close your parentheses. You just worked the distributive property backwards. Okay? Do you think you can check your answer? Absolutely. You should never get one of these problems wrong. The reason is you can check your answer to see if it's correct. Now we just do the distributive property. What's 4 times 3? 12. 4 times 1. 4. We'll write that. Do the same thing. Okay? So when doing the distributive property backwards using the greatest common factor, you are trying to find the number that's on the outside. That can be divided out of both numbers that you are adding or subtracting. Divide that number out, that's what's going to be on the inside. Think you can handle that? Alright, I'm going to give you 2 problems to try. I will tell you the first one will be similar to this. I want to make the second one more challenging. $15 plus 10. Then we're going to do 4x.
This includes 4th period lunch.
Go ahead and see if you can simplify these expressions using the distributive property greatest common factor. Okay, so you got 15 plus 10. You can divide a 5 out. You get 3 plus 2. That's right. Okay, and you do distributive property. You get 15 plus 10. You're back to the same thing. All right, questions on this one? Why you can divide out a 2x? Jack.
How can you divide 4x by 2x if we don't know what the x is?
They both have an x, so you can divide them out. You don't know what it is. So if they were different variables, could we divide them out? Nope. But since they are both the same variable, you can divide them out. Because they're going to have the same value. Okay? So again, we can double check our answer. 2x times 2. So how this works is, it's 2x. 2x is 2 times x. Would you all agree? 2 times x. Then I multiply it by 2. Does the order matter when you multiply? No. If I do 2 times 3 times 4, what is that? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is altogether 24. If I change the order, 4 times 3 times 2. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. I can change. It's called the commutative property. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But I can change the order of these three. So I can do 2 times 2 times x. So 2 times 2 is 4 times x. Can I multiply 4 by x? No, so I just rewrite it as 4x. So this becomes 4x. Multiply 2x by 5, you have 2 times x times 5, which is, you can rewrite that as 2 times 5 times x. 10x. You alright with that? Sure? Because I'm going to make it a little more challenging. Good? Alright. Alright, this time we're going to do open parentheses. We're going to have 5a minus 3a. Then we're going to do this is 18x plus 9a. Go ahead and see if you can solve both of these using the greatest common factor distributive property. All right, we have 5a minus 3a. What can I divide out of both 5a minus 3a? Like I told you earlier, look at your numbers first. What is the greatest common factor of 5 and 3? Liam? 1, so I can divide a 1 out. Hey, then look at your variables. We have a and a. Can we divide anything out? Samantha? You can divide an a out because they both have just an a. So the greatest common factor here is 1a. Okay, 5a divided by 1a would be how? We divided the a out, so it would be just 5. Minus 3a divided by 1a. Okay. Double check your work. 1a times 5. That gives you 5a. 1 times 5 times a. Minus 1a times 3 is 3a. Okay. You will almost never see it written like this. Almost never. Why? Or how should it be written? Jack?
Because the one looks like a lowercase l.
Kind of. I do agree. It does look like an L. Paige? Yes, we can write it just as a. You will see it written like this almost 90% of the time. Okay, remember, we are lazy. We do not need to put the 1 in front. Okay, what is the coefficient right here? Kaden, it's 1. What's the coefficient right here? Man, it's still 1 even though it's not there. You have 1a, it's just a, there's 1 of them. Okay, this problem. 18x plus 9a, what can we divide out? Look at just your numbers first. What can you divide out? Jordan?
9.
You can divide a 9 out. I agree. Okay, then we have an x and an a. Can we divide anything out? No. We cannot divide anything out when we have two different variables because x can represent 2. And A could represent 10. Okay? They are not the same variables, so you cannot divide them out. So what's going to be on the inside? Someone new. I've talked to you, but I haven't shared yet today. It's okay. Emery.
18x.
Okay, if we have 18x, we divide out a 9. What's 18x divided by 9?
Oh, yeah,
What's going to have to run?
2.
There you go. You have to distribute it out. It's going to have to equal. It's okay. And we learned something there by not getting it right the first time. Okay. Then you have to make mistakes to learn sometimes. All right. Then we're going to have plus what? Someone talks. Caleb.
A.
Yes, it's going to be just. The reason it's just A, if you wrote 1A, it's not incorrect. It is a correct answer. You just will never see it written like that. That's 18x plus 9A. Back to. We all right with that? One last one, and we're going to look at our guiding there. I told you we weren't going to use it very much. That's right. So we have this. How do we solve a problem like this? Did I do something like this already?
Yeah.
I did. I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
We just distribute the x out, and it would be what? 5x plus
3x.
Okay. We're good with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, in your guided notes, lesson 2.5, under part 2, you have 6 expressions on the left-hand side. I want you to simplify them using the distributive property. There are 8 answers on the right-hand side. I want you to draw a line from the ones on the left to the ones on the right that are equivalent using the distributive property or the distributive property with the greatest common factor. Okay. So solve these on the left-hand side using the distributive property. Your answer will be over here to the right. The fourth one, the answer choices, they did not take out the greatest common factor there. You just took out a factor. You take out the greatest common factor, the answer should be this. Here are your answers. You want to check your work. I'm going to have one last problem for you to do. 4x plus 20, 18x plus 27y, 20x minus 4y, x parentheses 5 plus 5 plus 5, 9 parentheses 3y minus 2, and 5 parentheses 2x plus 5y. Any questions on these 6? Are you ready for a bigger problem. One more nice person to the next. We're going to have 3 people. Nice. This is, you can't see the smallest, 3, open parentheses, x squared plus 5x plus 9. Use the distributive property to simplify this expression. It is on the back of your guided notes, the second problem. It's the same thing. Now, instead of Santa distributing 2 presents to the 2 nice people, he's distributing a gift or a present to all the nice people, which are 3 of them. Or you have 3 people playing pass the trash now. Each person needs a card, or each person needs a gift. Fair and equal. All right, I'm going to go over now. Please don't back up. You do have enough time to finish it. 3 gets distributed to x squared. What's that going to equal? Caden? Yeah, it equals 3. X squared plus my 3 gets distributed to 5x. What's that going to equal? Sydney? It's going to equal 15x plus my 3 gets distributed to the 9. It's going to be, Alex? 27. That is simplifying using the distributive property. Do the best you can on tonight's homework. We will review distributive property a little more.
Period 4 or 5.